Hey guys, Victor here. Before we get started with today's episode, I'd like to officially announce that Tech Heads is on Patreon, where you can support the show for as little as $5. It is absolutely not expected of any of you guys to do so, but we really appreciate every penny. This goes towards helping us with the cost of gear, editing, distribution, and keeping us caffeinated. So if you want to show your support, feel free to check us out on patreon.com/techheads. Now on with the show.
3, 2, 1. So, here we go.
How you all feel tonight?
Thank you. Good morning, Vietnashua.
That's a cheerful audience.
It is. I love it. Yeah. All right.
Good
well,
vibes.
Tech Heads back again with another early bird special. Although this time it's only 8:58 a.m., so not too bad. Yeah, not exactly the wee small hours in the morning as like it was last time, but still not exactly chill weekend vibes. I would still be sleeping usually, but happy to do the show, obviously. If I mentioned to Anna before, if I'm lucky, my dog will let me sleep in on a weekend, but I don't know, like even today, he freaking woke me up at 6:30 with his little whines, and I'm hoping he grows out of that soon.
I know. I honestly, I don't know if our dog Augie will ever sleep past 8. To be honest, he's been pretty good. Like I said, he's been pretty consistent between waking up between 7:30, or maybe from 6:30 to 7:30. That's usually when he wakes up. But I feel like with a dog, I'm never gonna be able to sleep in until 9 or 10 if I want to, unless Sam takes him out. So we do switch, so
Good system.
Yeah, right.
Nice. Well, we're here and we're ready to get down and dirty with some usual Tech Head shenanigans. Good afternoon to East Coast co-host Anna.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I know it's almost lunchtime here.
Yeah. Do you have some big news for us?
So I have some interesting ones. I mean, I know that we were going to discuss this at some point today in terms of the Apple event that just happened early this week. Yeah. So I have been flirting with the idea of upgrading my computer, and guess who's the proud pre-orderer of a MacBook Pro 16-inch, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, M1 Max? Pro Max? I don't know what the chip is called, but I'm getting it.
Wow. Wait, so, okay, so, at the first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Which one was it? Was it the new baseline chip, or was it the bigger, nicer one? I don't remember the names.
It's the best chip that they came out with, the M1 Max, I'm pretty sure, because I think the M1 Pro is the baseline, for the 14 and the 16-inch. But I was like, man, if I'm upgrading to whatever they, the best one they have right now. So
wow.
The only thing I decided to save a little bit on, because obviously, it was an expensive computer, was the storage. So I just stuck with the 1 terabyte. But it's 32 gigs of RAM. I don't even know what that is. And it's a brand new computer, so I'm expecting that to be like a rocket ship.
Don't you have 4 right now?
No, I have 16.
Oh, yours is 16? Damn.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Mine's
that's
8.
Yeah, no, I actually, when I got this one, I was like, no, I mean, 16 is pretty big, pretty good, and late 2016 was when I bought it. Despite, the fact that it's a quarter of a terabyte in storage, I was like, no, the RAM is definitely going to be, good for me for what I need to run. And if anything, I'll just get external storage. And that's what I'm rocking right now. But the computer is still fast. You can't compare it. I feel like it's comparing apples to oranges now with, a computer that's 5 to 6 years old running on Intel, whereas this one is breaking records, all over the place, in terms of graphics and all sorts of benchmarks. So I'm pretty excited. Unfortunately, I was a little late to the party when I ordered it on Monday. I should be getting it this week, but when I actually, when I had to pay for everything, it already like pushed my delivery window by almost a week. So I'm not getting it next week. I'm getting the week after, but I'm just happy to be getting it at all. 'Cause now I feel like it's going to take a few months if you haven't ordered it already, but I can't wait to do like a full review. I'm still going to be using this one for school until the semester is over. And then my sister's going to get my old laptop. I'm going to clean it up for her, reset it. And then she's going to be taking over this bad boy.
Nice. And you're getting ports.
I'm getting ports.
And MagSafe is back. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. Last night I was shopping for a new mouse. I think, I bought the MX keys, the Master 3 mouse or something like that to go with my keyboard. Because I wanted a Bluetooth mouse, not the one that comes with the little dongle. And because I don't want to use, my ports. And the new MacBook doesn't even have a USB-C, a USB 3.0 port. So I can't count on that, so it has to be like Bluetooth. But I also want to buy myself a new docking station. I was even gonna ask you like which one you recommend, because I don't know if you said you had one for work.
Yeah, I like mine a lot. It's
a few moments later.
It's called StarTech. It's pretty good.
Cool.
It's the only one I've used though. It's I'm sure there's other ones out there.
Yeah.
It has its limitations. Like, I don't think with my exact MacBook that I could use clamshell while running the OS that I'm running. But maybe with the new OSs you can, or maybe they deprecated clamshell after Catalina. I'm not too sure though. There are a couple weird quirks about it, but yeah, it does the job. And actually sometimes it crashes. It crashes both monitors just for like 4 seconds, and then it comes all back on. So I don't know if that's I don't know if this is an older docking station or what. I'm sure somebody used it before me. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's really good. I mean, I would definitely look for something similar as well. Maybe look up some reviews on them, because I think it is really. I can't go back to not having a big one, because it is like it's like at least a foot long. It has so many ports, and I really don't know how I would be operating right now without it. So
right. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I looked at a similar one to what I have at work, which is a Dell docking station, but that one's like $300. And I feel like all the ones that offered like the same number of ports, if they're like primarily USB-C or have like a whole bunch of other ports and you can like really plug a couple of devices in, then they tend to be like in that price range. But I'm still shopping around. I think I'm gonna ask like at work if I can bring a docking station home to, because I've been working from home anyway, and test it out. And then if I like it, then I will. I'll probably keep using that for however long I'm at the job. But then in the future, I'll have like a good reference too.
who knows? I mean, yeah, I don't get why they're so expensive. It's like you're buying another nice monitor, essentially. Like you could put that towards another display, but yeah, the docking stations are pretty expensive now. But I mean, now it sucks because now I can't live without it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I'd rather have the docking station instead of, I don't know, finding like using like plugging a whole bunch of things into the new laptop that's gonna come in.
Yeah.
I'd rather just invest, in the docking station. And for now, like I can probably, use one from work. And if I like it, if I want to buy myself one, like for personal use, then I can. But I've been working from home, so I can just use the one that they give me from the office, and that's already going to be like pretty good help because I don't want to. It's such a pain when you have to like unplug your laptop if you want to take it with you, and
Well, one thing also that I do want to highlight about having a nice big one is that if you are switching machines, like I do like a couple times a day, I don't have to unplug the mouse little USB or my hard drive or I don't know, like my keyboard is really easy to switch over.
Right.
All the monitor cables that are hooked up to like the main one. I just unplug one laptop and plug in the other. So I do know that like if you're switching machines, like if you want to use the same mouse and keyboard and even the microphone, like you don't have to do that. It's just one simple plug in, plug out, since it's all part of the docking station. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, if you guys are considering it, maybe consider splurging and getting a nice big one.
Yeah, I'll keep that one in mind. I'll ask you for like the link or to like the the model that you have, and I'll check out the reviews and everything like that.
I would say it works better with PC. It still works great with my Mac, but yeah, like I said, there's a couple little things here and there, but yeah, no issues with my PC so far.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah. I'm pretty excited for this computer, so obviously I'm not going to shut up talking about it for the next 2 weeks until I get it, and even after, because
so
then
jealous.
I feel like I'm just going to be like, definitely part of the cult. Like, I love Apple, but oh yeah, I do have another cool piece of news.
Yeah.
I don't know if I shared this with you, but yeah, I'm working from home. I'm planning on going to the office to catch up with some coworkers, and I'm gonna pick up a salvaged PC that we are no longer using, that they wiped, so I can install my own Linux, distribution on it and run it at home. And so, yeah, earlier this week, I was looking at like the best options for beginners. And I, obviously Ubuntu was like the one that I was more leaning more towards, but then I found this one called Deepin, and I'm going to give you the link, to include in the show notes. And the UI is so pretty. It kind of reminds me of Windows 11. I don't know if you saw like some of the demos by now, but, I feel like it's so refined compared to some of the other more hacky looking, Linux distros. So I think I might give that one a try. If anything, I can just go with, Ubuntu too, if I don't like it. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to like install, like an OS and wipe it and then start all over again. I mean, that's the idea of getting this machine, is so I can try anything,
Yeah, if you're very well-rounded like that looks really good.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually, even for Windows 11, I'm pretty excited to try that out, so we'll see when, I don't know if we're going to be using it at work sometime soon, but
yeah, I've been wondering that too, if I'm going to have to switch over to that soon. But yeah, we haven't been told much yet. We've been slowly migrating to certain things like like more like OneDrive stuff that maybe we were just using, I don't know, some sort of shared drive. Yeah, every once in a while we'll switch over to something else that's a little newer, and usually goes fine. But yeah, a whole upgrade like that, I don't know how that's going to go, or what certain things are going to break. So we'll see.
Yeah, same here, because we have, laptops out on the field, like several, like across so many other states, cities, and whatever. So yeah, that could be, it could be a little bit of a headache, but I haven't heard anything, so I don't think it's going to happen this year for sure. I mean, it's crazy, but we have less than 45 days, 60, 70 days, 67 days until the end of the year, something like that. So yeah, I highly doubt anything is going to happen until next year.
Yeah, let's finish Q4 strong, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
No mistakes. Wait till
Windows
Q1,
11.
Then you have the whole year to fix it.
Right. Yep.
Well, congratulations again, and I'm going to give you the small crowd. All right, so now that we're talking about that sort of stuff, maybe we can transition into some OOP talk, or object-oriented programming talk.
Yeah, for
pretty
sure.
Pretty big topic that we've never gone too in depth about. So I'm pretty excited to present this to people who may not be aware of the main concepts of object-oriented programming, or maybe they're curious about it. And this seems like a really solid episode to tune into if you're interested in that. So before we do that, I do have a funny quick game that I want to play with you, Anna. So there are, in case you guys don't know, there's, plenty of programming languages out there, but not all of them are object-oriented programming languages. Some of them are just like, scripting, or, they're prototype-based. Who knows? Like, there's a ton of languages out there, so not all of them are OOPs. So with Anna's extreme skill set in this field, I want her to do something for me. I'm not going to say what it is yet because I don't want her to think about it just yet. But let me get something ready real quick.
I like that extreme knowledge.
Insane knowledge. Okay.
A few moments later.
Just gonna wait for this to load. Okay. So what I need you to do, Anna, when I cue the countdown music, you're gonna have 30 seconds to name at least 10 object-oriented programming languages. Okay?
Damn, there are that many.
I think there's gotta be, like 50.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Go.
Java, Python, C++, C, Objective-C. Oh my gosh, that's only 5. Hold on, I'm trying to think of the languages I've used before. Shoot. Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Crap, I don't even know. Yeah, that's all
right.
I got.
You got 5 out of 10. Pretty solid. You had no time whatsoever. Well, I'm going to mention one that maybe you wouldn't have originally thought of, but we did mention it in a previous episode because we did, I think, a whole episode on it. TypeScript is considered one.
Oh, okay.
There's Ruby. There's Kotlin. You got Objective-C. Let's see. There is curl. MATLAB is considered one. I think we said Swift, Scala, Ruby, Rust.
Oh, shoot. I was going to say Rust, and I wasn't sure if it was.
Mm-hmm. There's also, here, next time you play this game with people, you can say D, E, F sharp, go. Oh, yeah, go, obviously.
Go. Okay,
Yeah.
go.
I mean, that's at least 10 that I named, so yeah, good job. I probably would have done worse if somebody had played that game with me, so good job.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about object-oriented programming languages. We're not going to go over all of those languages in depth, but we're going to go over very essential topics that you would need to really have a grasp on to learn those languages. So let's hop right in and learn some OOP.
Yeah, I think, like when we were deciding what we were going to do this week, based on some conversations that we had, and the fact that I even remembered the second semester I was at UF, we were taking programming fundamentals, and there it is, fundamentals, what is the fundamental, what are the fundamental concepts of object-oriented programming. So I figured, this is pretty core stuff that even if you don't follow classical training, by going through a college degree, it may come up at a boot camp, or if you're self-taught, you're definitely going to come through, this topic. So we figured that it was, kind of a good little intro to give to those, to our listeners.
Yeah, no doubt. It's honestly something that when I learned C, we went over these a little bit, and then I just totally didn't care about them after that because I stopped using OOPs for the most part.
Yeah.
But the concepts kind of came in handy, I guess, when I was learning JavaScript. But, for all the true CS people out there, it's widely acknowledged that JavaScript isn't a true OOP. So if you are learning JavaScript and you don't plan on getting into the more technical languages like that, I'm not going to say this isn't helpful because it definitely is. It'll definitely square some things away as far as understanding kind of the ins and outs of something like JavaScript, but it's a language that can run without the principles of a true OOP. But it will be sort of helpful in a way.
Yeah,
I also do want to
absolutely.
preface this discussion with the fact that I'm in no way the expert here. Anna would be the expert, so I'm going to do my best to dumb it
far
down.
from it. Oh, please, no.
I'm just saying,
no.
if somebody was like, gun to the head, like, okay, which one of you is going to take over and explain this to me? Obviously, I'm going to point to you and be like, yo, this girl's got it.
You'd be like, shoot her. Oh man. Yeah.
The trick is to shoot through the neck, so you get both people.
Yes. Right.
God, 2
I just
office
feel
references already. I hate myself.
Yeah, I think I mean I've definitely like learned a lot because I would say I used 3 out of the 5 programming languages that I named, during our little game. I have used at UF because I mean that's what they're training you for, for object-oriented programming language. I know that like that the concept, I guess it'd be good for us to define that, this concept or this the paradigm of OOPs is essentially defined by a programming idea that relies on the concept of classes and objects, and an object is an instance of a class. So it is it's like if you don't know what a class is, it's like a reusable piece of code that you create using Java or C++ or Python. Those are the ones that I've mainly worked on. And you can create, it allows you to create individual instances of objects through that class. So for on top of the fact that is like the general idea of how OOPs work, we have like the fundamental concepts that allow all of that to happen, and I think we could probably name some of those.
In just a second we'll get into the 4 pillars of object-oriented programming. One thing I do want to correct myself on already, I feel dumb for even saying that. I might have said that C is, because I mentioned that my first one was C, but C isn't a true OOP either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because C is procedural and uses pointers, and yeah. So that just wanted to correct myself before all of you guys, throw me some shade. Okay, so with object-oriented programming, the first thing you might question about that is like, what is an object? Because we know what programming is sort of oriented, just means it has to do with that. But like, what is an object in this context? So it might be easier to bring up primitive data types before even defining what objects are, because they'll make more sense once you know what a primitive data type is, in case you don't know. They're as basic as you can get in programming, as they're just data types that store values. And, some examples would be ints, floats, booleans, which is a fancy way of saying true or false, doubles, chars, bytes, those, all of those are kind of just primitive data types. And for a while back in the day, this was kind of all we needed in programming, because, we didn't have too much complex systems back then exactly. But I apologize if you can hear my dog just going to town on this bone that I gave him. I can't take it away from him, otherwise, he's going to throw a fit. So anyway, yeah, primitive data types, they're, as simple as you can get in the world of OOP. But yeah, we eventually got to this point where systems started getting more and more complicated, so we needed something to help us out with that. So for example, if you have, the task of making a program for a chess game, you have to store information about all the separate pieces on the chessboard. And obviously that can get really complicated really fast without objects. So for like a pawn piece, for example, we would need a variable to keep track of the position of the piece on the board, a boolean to represent if it's been captured or not, and even a variable to track the color of the piece, since there's black and white. And because you have to do this for each piece on the board, it starts getting really messy and hectic. So it would be much easier to group all of these variables related to just one pawn to all of the pawns on the board in order to treat them as one entity. And you can do that with the structure. Structures are the shit because, you know why? Because you're allowed to store several different pieces of data together while you're just limited to just one data type with an array. Not only that, but you can also store structures within structures. I mean, you can do that with arrays too, but you're still tied into one data type.
Yeah.
You know, like in Boolean, you know, the ones that we mentioned before. So true structureception. This is, you know, this is the foundation of what OOP is all about. And we kind of alluded to the fact that there's 4 major pillars. Do you want to tell? Okay, first of all, I'll do the acronym that kind of helps people remember. It's called API, or maybe API is maybe how you might say it.
Okay.
APIE.
Yeah, I like that.
So can you tell us what the 4 are, Anna?
Yeah, sure. So starting out with the first one, A would be for abstraction. Are we gonna do you want to define each one, or let's just go through the acronym? So
yeah, sure.
We have abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance, and encapsulation.
That's correct.
Yay!
API.
Yeah, I think that's a good acronym. I'll never forget it now, so that helps.
Nice.
But yeah.
The first one, abstraction. I'll do my best to define it. You might be able to do better than me. This one is the idea of only showing essential data to the user of an object and basically hiding it everywhere else. So if you wanted to do something simple like turn on something like a monitor, or maybe turn up brightness on a phone, the person doing that doesn't care about the inner workings of what's going on. It's all about just having a button that does the action. So as a user, we only care about, calling the method of turning up or down the brightness, not so much as the underlying implementation. I mean, you can also apply that example to maybe driving a car. You don't care about how engines work. You just care that if you press the gas pedal, you go forward. So that's kind of the super basic principle of abstraction. Can you maybe explain that in a different way, or better, or more technical?
I think that's pretty good. That's a good analogy to it. It's like you said, there's no need to overshare. So I think that's a good point about abstraction. Is it only like you said, it only shows the essential to the user without giving too much away, because there's no need. It reduces complexity and efforts on the code. So I think that that's a perfect definition for it.
Cool. And then with the acronym API, P is the next one, but I don't even know if I want to explain P before explaining I.
Right.
Or E. I don't know. I feel like P should be last. P is at least weird to me, polymorphism. I don't know. Maybe we can start with inheritance or encapsulation.
Yeah, let's go for inheritance. That one's easier to understand.
Yeah, Yeah, not too bad. So inheritance, as the name implies, it's inheriting from somewhere else. So this this allows for code reusability. So if you already have existing code, but you want to create a new class with some different features, you can still call some stuff from the original class that you're inheriting some stuff from by extending it to the first class. So this saves a lot of time in rewriting unnecessary code. I think a good example would be if you're maybe making maybe a game of some kind, and you have good guys and bad guys in the game. There's the enemies. If you have different types of enemies like zombies and monsters, I don't know, you might call some of the same classes from the one that you made before. Let's say you made zombie first, so you would have health bar and max health, stuff like that. But then if you're creating a new enemy, but it's basically the same idea, you would grab some of that stuff and put it in the new one that you're creating, which would be the zombie or monster. I don't remember which one I said first, but yeah, it allows for code reusability essentially.
Perfect. Yeah, that's how I had a good project that I think was one of the best projects that I understood the idea behind it was inheritance when I was taking fundamentals too. And it was about shapes. So we had a class called shapes, and then every child and then we had child classes, called like triangle, square, sphere, that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, so that means that it's a subclass that can essentially use the attributes of the parent class, so the child class can use the parent class's attributes, methods, and that just shows like the inheritance, because you have like subclasses of a bigger class, so it's like an umbrella.
Yep.
And yeah, so but yeah, you explained it perfectly. So it just allows for code reusability, so you don't have to like keep making class shape 1, shape 2, shape 3, and then each one has like a different, like a triangle, a square, a rectangle or whatever. You can use the same parent class. So I think that was pretty cool. That was a good project that I had. I mean, and it's a very useful concept of OOP.
For sure. And next one, encapsulation. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll try to hop in later.
Okay. So for encapsulation, basically the idea that I have of this concept is that when the variables or the data of a class are hidden from any other class and can only be accessed through member functions for its class where it was declared. So going back to like the shapes example that I had. So if you have a class called shapes, and it has attributes where it's like width, length, and it has a function called the get length or get width or get area, that kind of stuff. Encapsulation basically only allows for those variables to be obtained, or like those results to be obtained through a member function of the class. It can be pulled from outside of it. So that's like my understanding of encapsulation.
Yeah, and this is helpful because it allows for more control over access to certain data that you might have, and also helps prevent the program that you're probably writing from ending up in any other unwanted states. Yeah, so pretty important topic. I couldn't have put that better, so good job, Anna.
Good, thank you.
Okay, and then with polymorphism, I'm glad we kind of left this for the end, because I think this would be a little weird to define before defining any of the others. But from what I understand about polymorphism, it just allows you to determine what kind of function to write while the program is running. Because this kind of goes into encapsulation, but I think polymorphism is responsible for preventing any like errors that may happen without encapsulation in a way. I don't know. I could have that backwards. I think that's right, though.
Here's how I kind of think of it. If you just break down, the word polymorphism, it means many shapes, right? So the way that I was able to define what it does is that it describes, your OOP's ability to process different types of objects and classes through a single method. And that there are two ways to do that, because you have static polymorphism or dynamic. For static, that means it's method overloading. So when you're overloading a method, that means that you're passing through different parameters, through that function. You can maybe let's say going back to the shapes, the shapes example. If we had, a method called get area, that presumably means that you're passing an int for the width, an int for the length, and there you go. You can get your result. But what polymorphism says is that you can also overload that same method by passing through different types of arguments they don't have to be just ints. They can be of different data types. And I think that's where, it's interesting because you can it's the same function, but you're passing, different data types. Like how is that's pretty crazy to me how, you don't have, it allows you to do that. And it will still work. But obviously that's I think top level overview of what it does. And then for dynamic, the dynamic type of polymorphism, it's method overriding. And that one I'm a little bit iffy on, but let me look it up right now. Hold on.
A few moments later.
So method overriding is a language feature that allows a subclass or a child class to provide a specific implementation of a method that is already provided by one of its superclasses or parent class. So it looks like you can redefine the same method and you're redefining the same method, but you're getting a different output. So, it could be a different output, a message that's printed to the screen or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how the overloading, it means that the entire function is, it's different because it has a different parameter, but the overriding means that the function output is different. So that's a pretty big, topic to understand in terms of OOPs. And I can tell you right now that, I've had interviews before where I was flat out asked, do you know what polymorphism is? And then you have to, maybe a little more eloquently, share what I just did. Because that's a very top level overview. But it makes sense when you look at it at a piece of code and you see method overloading and method overriding working.
Well, this is my brain as you explain that.
It didn't turn into mush.
No, that is much better than I could have put it. I can still hardly explain it, but I have seen that it applies even to the most basic of interview questions. I feel like when it almost asks here's this function and everything, but and here's all the code. What is gonna be logged in the console? Because you can see a ton of different things happening, and it almost kind of goes into scope. I feel in a way. Yeah. But it's not scope. It's encapsulation almost.
I feel like polymorphism out of the four can be the one that is a bit more daunting or intimidating. It's definitely not a topic for a 30-minute conversation, but it is pretty crucial. If you even if I feel we talk about our careers and what we enjoy doing. We like doing full stack. We like doing web work. But with that, you have to be prepared, to use object-oriented programming languages at some point. So these are all really important topics, especially if you're going to be, looking to advance in your career, and with more experience, you're gonna have to understand these more complex topics. But out of the four, this is the one that's even for me, when I was doing some prep too, I had to review some notes and stuff. But I'm sure that there are maybe other analogies that can paint a better picture, but I said, I think the best way for me that kind of helped was by looking at code and seeing those two, the static versus dynamic examples of polymorphism working in real time. And same thing for inheritance and encapsulation, abstraction. But yeah, this, I think we try to be as clear and concise as possible, right?
Yeah, maybe polymorphism is best learned visually, maybe not.
Yeah,
in an audio format. I feel the rest of them are pretty doable in an audio format. But yeah, if you're still totally lost on what the hell did we just say? Mostly what the hell did Anna just say? But yeah, maybe a little quick video overlook of what it is would be the most helpful. Because when I was watching the a quick little video on it. I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. This is clicking a little bit here. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, once you get these 4 pillars down, that's like a huge stepping stone, because after that, you kind of see them just like everywhere as you're learning your first OOP. And yeah, you really cannot, you can't survive without understanding these at least a little bit in this world. You know, not to like say like, hey, you're never going to make it, but like, yeah, these are very, very important, and I'm glad we dedicated a quick little episode to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that even if it is, you know, like, hopefully we didn't confuse everybody, like, totally. I don't think we did. But even if it just sparks a little interest for you to go look on your own and try to, like, understand it in your own terms, then, you know, that's our, like, already, like, valuable time spent, to be honest, because, yeah, in the, you know, software engineering, software development world, you're definitely going to be asked, you know, like what objective like oriented programming language is, and like what your interpretation of these concepts are, you know. So it's good to know, because yeah, you know, you're going to be prompted, I'm sure.
If you're just trying to be a web developer, you know, you're not gonna not get a job because you don't understand these 100%. But if you're, you know, if you like watch these movies like Social Network, or if you watch Silicon Valley, you see them like writing in Java and C++, and, you know, even if like you're interested in learning Python, like these are really important things to keep in mind, and they'll just only make you a better developer if you understand them better. So, you know, good luck to you out there if you're taking on this journey. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope it's not too painful to get over the first big mountain of these 4 pillars.
Yeah, no, exactly. Start off small, obviously, you know, like whatever you're, make sure you're not way out of your comfort zone and kind of, you know, like already swimming on the deep end. But maybe, you know, like as a future topics to learn, like, you know, especially like if you're like during, like you're still in a boot camp, or you're done, or you're self-taught, you know, because I know that through college, that is something that they try to teach you and cover it right off the bat, because I mean, it's pretty, you know, it's a fundamental part of the work. But yeah, it doesn't mean anything if you leave school and you have no understanding of what those things are, you know. So yeah, there are plenty of resources there to kind of like help you coach it. And you can also, you know, try out a little piece of code too, just to see them, you know, working. I mean, I did, to prepare for this podcast, I wrote like a little C++, you know, code to like to explain to myself, you know, what it was doing, like what polymorphism was doing. So I feel like when you get your hands you know, dirty, and you start to code, like things definitely start to click. Like it's just about like repetition, you know. So
yeah, you also might kind of be like me, the listeners, not you, Anna, but my first OOP was Python, and I think I was learning it more in like maybe it was a Udemy course or something. I don't remember. I definitely didn't learn it in school, but we did not go over these topics. So once I did eventually come across them, it was clicking from the Python that I learned, and it did help kind of put things into context, because I was kind of just saying like, okay, this is how this works. I guess this is just how life is. But there was no like, there was no one to ask like, oh, well, why is it like that? And why does it behave like this? And why wouldn't this be the result if you run this program instead of what I initially thought? So yeah, if you are like me and you're already like in the thick of learning in OOP, but like whoever you're learning it from didn't go over this will help things click for sure, because they did for me.
Agreed. Yeah.
With that being said, do we want to get into some recommendations?
Yeah, I have a cool one.
Go for it.
Okay, so I think you already might be aware of this, but for our listeners, I came across a post on Reddit of someone that developed a website, you know, a web app that allows you to create custom backgrounds for your own website. So, you know, if you want to build like your portfolio. Yeah, if you want to check it out, it's called Poco Loco. POCOLOCO.io, and you can download like you can download the file, the source file or the source code to the background that you choose. So you just have to navigate to the homepage, and then it's pretty self-explanatory. But I thought it was pretty cool, if you're not if you don't want to devote that much time to like your custom background and all that stuff. This is something that I definitely want to use at some point. I thought it was a really cool tool that they shared, and it's free.
Well, for the listeners, what exactly does like a basic example of this look like if you were to use it on your web app?
They have like a gradient backgrounds, and it's even dynamic. Like it looks like there's I don't know if it's, what is it that they call this again? Oh crap, what is it? Oh my gosh, now I forget the name. Oh no. Oh my god, I totally blanked out on the term that I'm trying to find. But so like if you visit the website right now, it's gonna say, generate your dynamic backgrounds, and you can, like, if you're looking for an alternative to a static background, which is just like, let's say, like a black, black background or whatever, with some pictures across, you can find something dynamic. And the premise of this is the very word that I'm looking for, and I can't find it. Damn it!
It gives the page life, right? There's there's some moving pieces and parts in the background. I doubt they got it from here, but there's what's it called? There's like a seafood place here. It's called oh my gosh, I mess it up all the time. I always want to call it like red fish, blue fish, like from Dr. Seuss. Oh, rock, paper, fish. That's what it's called.
Cool.
And
good name.
Yeah, super good seafood, super good fish and chips, clam chowder, all that stuff. But I went on their website and I was blown away at how good it is, because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm about to order food and I'm on the company's website, if I'm not using like, one of those apps, I immediately judge them, and I'm like, I don't want to eat here because their website blows. And even Dylan's on board, because like she'll look at a website and she's like, no, you're not going to like this. It sucks.
Yeah.
So rock, paper, fish, they have this like beautiful background where it's just a simple, maybe 3 or 4 lines with like some waviness to it, and it's white and blue, so you can tell that it's the ocean. And as you scroll down, the waves go up and down, and it looks amazing. Ooh. And I'm so impressed that they put in the work into that, because I think it's literally just like one location. It's not this big chain or anything by any means, but the fact that they put in that much effort to like make their website actually look fun like that is really cool. So who knows if they hired some sort of like, I don't know, developer agency or whatever, but whoever did it, props to them. I'll link it below so you can take a look as well. It looks amazing.
Cool. Yeah, something that reminded me, now that you were talking about actual like, applications of like the same idea of like really pretty backgrounds, is Square. Like Square is known for having a very nice website, because it's like the purple and with like the diagonal, line that divides like the background from like color to white. And I think that's what someone on the Reddit post, had mentioned was Stripe, because it's the mesh gradient background. And it just makes, I feel like it can really bring some life to the page. So if you're, because I'm not really inspired to like spend a lot of time on CSS for like the background itself. I have like used pictures before, or like I found, a background that I liked, or just a solid, background color. But I think that this could add like an extra little, refinement to the page, which is pretty cool. And it's super straightforward. Like you select, you can toggle, like the some of the controls on the web page at the home page to get the background, and you're gonna see like a live preview of those changes in the toggles, so you can then download whatever kind you want. They have the mesh, they have flow, they have lines. You can export that file, drop it into your directory, for your project, and off you go. Like you have a brand new custom background, so you can select different colors and make it really unique. So I thought it was cool.
Amazing. Yeah, with like my day-to-day job, I'll take inspiration from other websites that I find cool. And I haven't really, I don't, I haven't really been asked to do it, and I also don't want to overextend my work or anything. But when I'm doing something on the front end for somebody, I'll usually go to a website that I really like, and I'll literally just inspect what's going on and take their CSS and just put it on the thing I'm building, and everybody's like, "Whoa, how'd you do that? Looks so sick!" or I'll use some different like Chrome tool or Chrome extensions and like extract whatever video or whatever they have in the background or picture or an SVG with like some lines and just make it look really cool.
SVG, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Thank God. Oh my God, it was gonna ruin my day.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's a really good Chrome extension. This isn't my recommendation, but I use it all the time. I don't remember. Oh gosh, what is it called? It's like SVG Extractor or something like that, and you just click it, and it takes you to this little GUI where it shows you all the SVG elements on the page, and then you can just download it as SVG, JPEG, PNG, like whatever you want, and resize it and rename it, and it's really, really handy. And I do recommend that, but that's not my recommendation. Before I even want to say my recommendation, I just want to play the Apple fanboy again, because I came across a video maybe a year ago where somebody took you through how Apple does their what is it called, like jack scrolling or like whatever it does, like when they were doing the AirPods, where you scroll through the page and it like rotates the AirPods and like opens the case up, and it just looks so cool in the background.
Oh my God, yes. So when I was placing the order for the new computer, I think obviously I went directly to that page, and I think it was getting really slow. It was like about to crash. And I was like, damn it, I think I missed the cutoff to get it delivered next week by like minutes, but then, after the order got placed, I made sure everything was good. I went back to the homepage, and scrolling down, I was like, how do they do this? It's smooth as butter, like the experience from like top to down. And oh my gosh, it just looks so flawless. I really appreciate the work that they put into that.
And not like, shout out to all the engineers working on that. It's beautiful. I do want to say it's not as intimidating as it looks to really make that happen, though. Maybe we can actually do an episode on talking about that a little bit, but it's really not totally crazy. Like you could do it in 30 minutes with something if you have, all the elements and everything ready to go. The coding really isn't too crazy once you understand how it works exactly. But yeah, it is really cool. I have done a similar example on my time where you have different little PNGs, like maybe a chair and then like a couch in the background and a window. And as you scroll, each one moves at a different speed, and then eventually it makes it look like a living room.
Oh.
Yes, like that stuff sounds crazy and like looks really weird when you're scrolling through, but yeah, like the code behind it really isn't absurd and hectic. It's really doable and attainable to type. So, we'll probably get deeper into that someday soon, because I also do want to get a little deeper on CSS soon too. Maybe like grid and flex and all that jazz would be really cool to talk about. Because those are pretty important concepts too, and you can go on and on about that. But without digressing too much, I'm going to share my recommendation. So it is called readme.so or .so. I don't really know, because some of the extensions it's like com, gov, and then you do io. Like you don't say eo, obviously. So I think it's readme.so. It is the easiest way to make a README without a doubt. Like I enjoy making a good README from scratch every now and again, but sometimes I just want to get my README taken care of and just ready to go. So when you log on to readme.so, there's all these little toggle buttons with templates for common sections and READMEs, or even full READMEs like author, API, usage examples for whatever thing that you made, how to run tests, how to install whatever the thing is that you made, so that people can just refer to your README very easily, and it's nice and clear and concise on how to install. Yeah, it's a biggie for the person coming across your repo for the first time, because you don't want them to be like, oh, what the heck, this looks too complicated. And ugly README first of all, and then they just leave.
Yeah.
Like, you want people to use it, so you might as well attract them first with the README to make it super easy and simple for them to use whatever you made. I love this thing. It's a good time saver also just for the person making the README. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, oh, how do I do that thing again in markup? Like,
Yeah.
And I have to like Google like a template, and then I just take the whole template and then delete everything that I don't need. So that's like annoying, but yeah, this is super, super simple. You just click some buttons, you hit download, you put it in your, your project, and you're good to go.
That's awesome. Very good recommendation. I think, if there is another one, and I think that this will probably be good too. Like, let's say you create the README on here, you already know what it looks like. But if you throw it on your file tree, like let's say using VS Code, there's also an extension that allows you to see like the preview of what it would look like, now with the hash symbols and all that stuff. So that could be like a compliment. But yeah, this is an awesome tool. I'm gonna check it out too.
Yeah,
I love a good README.
There's what's it called? Dark mode and light mode. You can preview the README. You can see it in raw form, so you don't have to download it. You can just copy and paste the code. You can, it's great. That's my recommendation for the week.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool. And she used Next.js and Tailwind CSS to build this. Hey, look at that.
There you go. We'll have to talk about Tailwind
Awesome.
CSS.
I love it.
Yeah, you
I
do.
love it. Love it.
And there's
My
a little
fave.
button at the bottom to buy this person a coffee. So if you do enjoy it, consider buying them a coffee. On that note, consider buying us a coffee. Go to patreon.com/techheads. And,
Perfect.
you don't have to, but, maybe if you pledge $1, $2, whatever you want to do is totally up to you. You also don't have to whatsoever. If you enjoy the show and, enjoy listening to us, that's enough for me to, keep us doing it. I'm really excited
Absolutely.
to continue doing this show. But, if you want to show your appreciation and go the extra mile, feel free to check out patreon.com/techheads. And, oh my gosh, a couple episodes ago, it came to my attention that there was maybe 5 or 10 minute section of just silence in the middle of the episode.
Which one?
It was the one of the Nico.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it was maybe at the 20-minute mark, and I think it was only like 5 minutes, and I have no idea how it happened. I just what's it called? Exported the audio from the project again and uploaded it and replaced it, so it's all good now. But I have no idea how it happened, so I don't know if it was my computer, or if it was Ableton, or if it was our distribution software. Like, I don't know, but that's all fixed.
Weird.
And if anything like that comes about, feel free to tweet us, or maybe not tweet us, but maybe DM us or email us.
Yeah, don't tweet us. No,
if you do
just
tweet
kidding.
us, we'll see it quicker. I'm sure it'll be like, whoa, we better put this fire out right now. So
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, so that's all taken care of. Thank you guys very much for listening again. And did you have anything else to say, Anna?
No, I think that's it. We're excited to bring you another episode, and email us if you have any ideas or any suggestions, anything like that. If you like any of the recommendations that we made, or to bring up anything that that we've discussed on previous episodes, that'd be really cool. We want the interaction, believe us.
Oh, one thing I've been trying to just do while we do this podcast. When I edit the episodes, I say like so much, and I don't even know I say it until I'm editing, and I just cannot believe that I say it that many times. So hopefully I did a better job
Probably
this
not as
episode.
It's probably not as bad as my
I got a complaint from a listener, not a complaint, but what's the word? Some constructive criticism on
right.
How I present what we're talking about, and he was like, yeah, you used the word like a lot. I was like, oh, see, there I go. I just do it without even thinking. It's our generation, I guess, but
it's really hard because conscious damn, because
so
consciously because I've been trying to to consciously stop myself from saying things without saying or like, and just leaving like a silent pause. But then I also think that maybe people are gonna think something is wrong with me. So you never know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, really quick before we sign off, I did see a funny video from, I think it was from Graham Norton. What is that? It's that talk show, that British talk show.
Oh,
it's Graham
I like
Norton,
him.
right?
Yeah, that's him.
The lady who plays Professor Sprout in Harry Potter. What's her name? I don't remember her name, but I'm pretty sure it was her. So she was critical about the word like and how kids say it all the time, and she said something along the lines of, "It's not like this, it's this." I was like, "Damn, you're not wrong."
Yeah.
But there I go saying like again. So.
Yeah, but no, hey, it is what it is. I still think that we try our best to communicate our ideas. So
yes, that is true. That is true. I do just wanted to. I wanted to say that. I hope that I did better in this episode. Let me know. Cool. Maybe somebody can make a what would it be?
Like a like counter.
A like counter.
Yeah, right.
And listen along, and then they can share their results in counting how many likes that I say or Anna say. Oh, that'd be funny. See who says the least amount of likes.
Damn. Okay. That'd be cool.
That'd be super quick and easy to make. Like one side of the page, it would be a button for me and a button for you. And above each one, it counts how many times we say like.
Yep.
Okay. Somebody should make that, or maybe I'll make it. And then as long as somebody uses it, I'll make it. So let us know what you think. With that being said, though, Tech Heads out. We'll see you next week, and peace out.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, just real quick before I play the outro music. So I just finished editing this episode, and it turns out that I say like a lot more than I thought, and not as much as Anna says like. So I ended up saying like 127 times by my count, and Anna said it 143 times. So not too far off. We're about the same level. Who knows if I'm going to keep counting? I don't know. It was kind of a pain in the butt to do so, but yeah, I did exactly what I mentioned in the episode. I had two counters going, so I would just tally up the number of likes per section from each person, and yeah, the grand total 127 me, 143 Anna. Yeah, I don't know how cool that is that you guys know that now, but anyway, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening, and peace out again.